There was a rumor at every airport handling Skyward International flights. No one had ever seen a Skyward flight attendant outside the terminal. Not once, not anywhere. My coworker drove me to the airport and smiled when I mentioned it. That slow, knowing smile of someone who understood something I didn't.
You'll see soon enough.
My sister had said almost the same thing after flying Skyward 3 years ago. Her husband only went quiet and stared at the wall. I boarded flight 6108 for the first time. Front row, window seat, crew jump seat directly across from me. Lucky draw.
The chief stewardess leaned over to help with my seatbelt. Dark bun, yellow-red striped tie, a soft fragrance that reached me before she did. She smiled and moved on before I could form a full sentence. Takeoff. She buckled into the jump seat directly in front of me, closed her eyes, and folded her hands neatly on her thighs. I told myself I was looking out the window. I was not looking out the window. The seatbelt crossed her uniformed jacket, drawing my attention back no matter how many times I looked away. I stopped pretending I was not staring. My coworker's smile finally made sense, but I still did not know what Skyward's real secret was. 30 minutes into the flight, instructions. Her hands moved to my belt buckle. Slow, deliberate. "Miss, what are you doing?" Tiffany looked up at me. Her expression did not change. Calm, polite, completely unreadable. Her manicured fingers loosened the leather strap, and I still had no idea whether this was Skyward policy or something Tiffany had decided on her own.
The best way to prevent air sickness is to help the passenger relax completely. Please trust me.
I stood there trying to process her words, while she calmly adjusted my clothing with practiced hands. Then she pulled a wet wipe from a small packet and cleaned my hands with the same focused care she had used fastening my seatbelt earlier. Cool fabric, clinical precision. My heartbeat did not care about the precision. Tiffany remained kneeling in front of me, posture perfectly straight, the posture of someone who had done this before and felt no embarrassment about it. I reached out automatically and touched the back of her head. She looked up at me without flinching, calm, patient, waiting for me to decide what happened next. My hand tightened slightly. She shifted closer, then paused when I moved too quickly.
Sorry.
No, sir. That's my mistake.
She apologized as if she were correcting a service error. Then she straightened again and waited for me to calm down. This time I moved slower, close enough to see every small detail in her expression. She never resisted, never looked away. Her breathing stayed steady, but the tips of her ears had turned completely red, and somehow that affected me more than anything else in the room. Tiffany pulled back slowly and caught her breath. Then she shifted closer again. Her movements were unhurried, deliberate, like she already knew exactly what effect she was having on me. I braced one hand against the wall. Tiffany tilted her head slightly and watched my reaction with bright, attentive eyes. Not embarrassed, not shy, just focused on me with unsettling concentration. When I gave the smallest nod, the corners of her eyes curved into a faint smile. A few seconds later, she leaned back and composed herself almost instantly. Her breathing slowed, her posture straightened. In under 3 seconds, she looked like a perfectly professional flight attendant again.
Feeling better so far?
10 seconds earlier, the space between us had felt dangerously intimate. Now she looked ready to offer me coffee and a blanket. I leaned against the counter while she poured me a cup of water. I watched her profile and still could not reconcile the two versions of her. Tiffany handed me the cup. I drank. Then I set it down carefully.
I just want to know something. How far does Skyward service actually go?
Tiffany's expression shifted slightly. Not shocked, not offended. She tilted her head and studied me like I had just asked a question with a very specific answer.
Company policy strictly prohibits crew members from going further with passengers.
She said it plainly. Calm. Professional. Certain services were permitted. Anything beyond that was not. The policy existed to avoid disputes, protect the crew, and keep emotional complications out of the arrangement. Tiffany was not apologizing for the limit. She was simply informing me of it. I looked at her name tag. Letters and numbers, no actual name.
Can I at least know your name?
Crew members are not allowed to disclose personal information to passengers.
How old are you? Are you married?
Tiffany studied my face for a long moment. Not uncomfortable, just careful, like she was making a decision.
I'll make an exception. I'm Tiffany. 35. Not married.
She said it quietly, like someone lowering a wall exactly 1 inch. I pushed at the opening.
How can you accept a job like this?
The way you're asking makes it sound like you think I'm some kind of prostitute.
She never raised her voice. Somehow that made it worse. Tiffany's composure had cracked, but underneath it was not embarrassment. It was pride.
We're Skyward crew. People compete for these positions. Calling us sex workers is the worst insult you could give.
I apologized.
Tiffany accepted it with a small nod. Then she told me the rest. Every Skyward flight attendant and ground staff member, every single one except the male pilots, had been carefully selected under very specific company standards. Management disclosed everything during hiring. No deception. Massive salaries, huge exit bonuses, strict privacy agreements. No names on tags so passengers could not track crew members down afterwards. Skyward had built an entire system around secrecy and discretion. And somehow, everyone involved benefited enough to protect it. I sat there absorbing it all. I thought of my brother-in-law going silent at dinner after his trip, and my coworker's smile at the airport drop-off. Both men had known this exact secret, and neither had said a word, because saying it out loud would destroy the illusion they wanted to keep.
Skyward's chairman had built a perfect trap out of desire and silence. No passenger was going to burn that down willingly.
Not every passenger receives special service either. We skip the ones who aren't worth the effort.
She smiled slightly after saying it, like she was reminding me I had been chosen. I looked at her for a long moment. Then I slowly raised one hand and gestured downward. Tiffany's eyes flashed with something between amusement and approval. Still smiling, she lowered herself gracefully in front of me. Knowing what she was changed everything. Tiffany started soft. A single kiss on the tip, eyes meeting mine, then took me in and went to work. She alternated deep suction that hollowed her cheeks, a slow roll of her tongue along the ridge, then pressure against one cheek like she was testing my shape. I kept still, let her set the pace, watched. Then she abandoned poise entirely. Her neck pumped like a piston, faster and faster, spit sounds filling the small room. She forgot the professional rhythm. She was trying to break me. I breathed steady, held the wall with one hand, refused to give her the satisfaction of rushing. She pulled off and gulped air, then went straight back in. Her ears had gone from pink to deep red. Sweat glistered at her collar. Her eyes flicked up mid-stroke, genuinely shocked that I was still standing. 4 minutes of that. I felt the pressure building at the base of my spine. I looked down at her face, flushed, lips swollen, still working, and I knew exactly what I wanted. She sensed it. She slowed, pulled back, and looked up.
Where do you want to come?
I looked at her perfect face and didn't hesitate.
On your face.
Naughty. Just don't get any on the uniform. Hard to clean mid-flight.
She dove back in, no hesitation. The permission I'd given her hand and gripped myself with the other. One yank. Tiffany tumbled sideways off her knees, legs spanning, face tilted up at me from the floor. I aimed down. First burst crossed her face, chin to forehead. Second caught her cheek. Third landed between her brows and dripped into her lashes. I kept going until there was nothing left, then squeezed the last drops onto her lips. Through all of it, Tiffany held still. Eyes shut at first, then relaxed. That professional smile settling back onto a face completely covered in white.
Post-nut clarity. I checked her jacket. Clean. Mission accomplished. I grabbed tissues and gently dabbed her eye first. She said thanks without opening them. When most of it was gone, she stood, looked in the mirror,
And said she'd finish up herself.
I slipped out into the galley. The attendant Tiffany had handed it off to earlier stepped aside for me with a bright smile. Something about the way she moved, the angle of her chin, the precision of her posture, felt exactly like Tiffany. I walked faster toward my seat and didn't look back. 3 days later, I was flat on the hotel bed, cigarette burning, watching smoke drift toward the ceiling. My business was done. I had no reason to rush home. I'd already booked flight 6108 for the return. I lay there replaying the rear crew room, Tiffany's posture, the wipe, the spit threads, the professional smile on a ruined face. I'd told myself it was curiosity the first time. This time I wasn't pretending. I showered twice, scrubbed thoroughly, added a splash of light cologne, not too much. Thought, surprise for Tiffany. Laughed at myself. Showered anyway. I arrived at the airport hours early. Every cafe seat was taken. Strange for a weekday. No choice but to check in first. The Skyward International counter was staffed by women in light blue skirt suits with small yellow ties. Not quite flight crew level, but close. Rare beauties, every one of them. The check-in agent typed without looking up. Cute figure under the jacket, focused, adorable. She finished my boarding pad and looked up. Our eyes met. She held it a beat too long. Her cheeks flushed. Her fingers froze on the keyboard. I realized I'd been staring at her for 30 seconds without speaking. I apologized for staring. The check-in agent smiled without speaking. On duty, but her eyes said she'd already figured me out.
Same flight again. You're after our cabin crew, aren't you?
I asked about coffee shops. She whispered to the colleague beside her. He looked at me, smiled, stepped out from behind the counter. Motion sickness meds. The same phrase Tiffany had used.
Sir, no need to go elsewhere. Our lounge has the best coffee in the building, completely free, and great motion sickness meds too.
I followed the guide through the terminal. Light blue high-hoos clicking on polished floor. Milky white stockings. Legs that made the walk feel like it lasted no time at all. She pushed open a glass door into a spacious lounge. Couples, families, round tables, a water bar. Normal. Then she pointed down a hallway.
Best coffee and meds are in the room at the very end.
She didn't follow, just smiled and left. I walked to the end of the corridor. An auto door slid open.
Welcome to Skyward International's VIP lounge.
The check-in agent was already standing inside. Light blue walls, soft lighting, alcohol lamps flickering on a small bar, a wide recliner centered in the room, and behind me, the door slid shut. The check-in agent told me to sit. I sunk into the recliner, wide and deep, the kind that swallows you whole. I closed my eyes. Then soft, boneless hands landed on my shoulders, pressing slow circles. She'd gotten off shift. Company had given special approval, she said.
I let her pull my pants and underwear off without a word. One hand moved from my chest down my stomach. Eyes locked on mine the whole time. Testing. Watching my face. Could you go a bit harder? The guide pressed her palms in deep without hesitation. Firm, precise, professional. The agent's bright eyes stayed fixed on mine. Her fingers still moving, and I understood I was not going to be getting on that plane anytime soon. The check-in agent stood, stripped off her jacket. Amazing. Makes me want to tip you. The guide behind me cracked up. The agent looked confused, then looked at her own hands, then understood. Her cheeks puffed out. She sped up her stroke so fast I yelped.
Laugh at me. See if you dare.
I was begging for mercy. The guide was laughing. The agent kept going. I get it completely. The agent slowed, pressed me against her cheek, and breathed deep. I reached up and started undoing her blouse buttons. She clamped me between her breasts and started moving, up and down, then in opposite directions, twisting. I'd never had this done before. Then her tongue dipped to my tip and licked the slit while her breasts kept moving in opposite directions. I lost it. Low groan, thick burst. Most caught her face at close range, some on her forehead. She closed her eyes and held still.
Tastes pretty thick.
I watched that and felt blood moving south again. She noticed immediately. Her slender fingers wrapped around me, stroking slowly.
No rush. Plenty of time before boarding. Rest up first.
Behind her, the guide was already setting 3 cups of Vienna coffee on the bar. White milk foam floating on top, rich and dark underneath. The guide sat sideways on the small chair beside me, propped her face on one hand, and watched me drink. Her skirt suit had run up with the sitting, half her thigh exposed under milky white stockings. She slipped off one high heel with her toes.
Like what you see?
I told her legs were top tier. She said she always thought her thighs were too thick. I told her she was wrong. She giggled, that kind of laugh that fills a small room and makes you forget what you were thinking about. You seem to love laughing.
Does my laugh look bad?
I put my coffee down and kissed her. Our tongues met fast. I pulled back. Your laugh moves me the same way your words do. Her cheeks went pink. She stayed composed, elegant, even flushed. Then the door opened. The check-in agent walked back in.
I heard you two laughing. What's the joke? I want to hear it too.
She pouted like a kid who'd been left out. We all laughed. The agent was impossible not to like.
The guide lay beside me, her bare legs sliding against mine. My left hand moved to her thigh and kept moving for exactly 1 second. Tiffany had told me. I'd believed her in theory. This was different from theory. I pulled the guide closer. She felt the decision in my grip. Her eyes found mine, touched, then eager. Me there, swallowed everything, then lifted her head. Leaning close, she opened wide and traced her lips with one finger. Tongue clean, not a drop left. Then she pressed that finger to her lips and looked at me.
Sir, time's almost up. Let us help you get dressed.
I put my clothes back on, turned around. They had already tidied up. The recliner was straight. The coffee cups were gone. The guide's stockings were back on, heels on, jacket buttoned. The checkup agent's blouse was closed, tie knotted, hair smooth, both of them standing in full uniform, hands clasped, expressions composed. 30 seconds. That was all it had taken. I stood in the doorway and looked at them. 2 Skyward International employees. Professional, immaculate, completely unreadable. I opened my mouth, closed it. There was nothing to say that the situation hadn't already said.
I walked out, down the hallway, through the lounge, into the terminal. My coworkers smile, my brother-in-law going quiet at the dinner table. Every man who had ever flown Skyward and said only that it was great, worth trying, and then stopped talking. I understood all of it now. I understood why no one had ever seen a Skyward flight attendant outside the airport. I reached Gate 3, Flight 6108. My reflection in the glass beside the boarding door looked ordinary, carry-on hand, with no evidence of anything. I stepped through, vowing never to tell what happened and to fly Skyward for life.